Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
I do want to pivot here because I think it is important that we talk a little bit about UCLA. They are a blue blood, and they are currently sitting in a situation where they are 5-5, right? And I think Mick came out in the media and complained a little bit about I guess he's probably insinuating at the NIL situation that's going on with UCLA. He said, I'm paraphrasing here. He was asked why he didn't get transfers coming into the UCLA program, and he basically said the Reds went after free agents, and the Los Angeles Dodgers got them all. And obviously, Shohei Ohtani went there for a $700 million contract. So, my question is this, McCall: when you're sitting here at 5-5, when you have
Come
so many
on.
freshmen on the roster, like how should Mick navigate this? Because it's very clear that this is a program that has a lot of pieces that are kind of in a learning curve still.
Well, there's no way UCLA doesn't have NIL, right? Like let's just call that it's like where they're located. Let's just go let's not go ahead and put him in the seat of being the head coach at Louisville when Kenny Payne's still there. So let's throw that out of the equation too, because everyone wants to talk about that. Okay, they want to say Mick Cronin is the next guy at Louisville. We're not going to talk about that right now. Right now, he's the head coach at UCLA, and Kenny Payne's the head coach at Louisville. I just think he's got a young team. He's trying to navigate that. He's trying to get them to play inspired. He's trying to get them to play really, really hard, and that's it is what it is. And I mean, they've got UCLA across their chest. We talked about UConn. They've got UConn across their chest. UCLA's across the front of their chest. So they're going to get everybody's best shot every single night. And you play these buy games or you're buying teams. And listen, I'm at a low major right now, and I get an opportunity to go in there and play against UCLA, and I see all the championship banners. I'm going to raise my level of play. And Coach Cronin trying to explain that to his young team of, look, man, we're getting everybody's best shot. If you don't bring it and you don't bring it at a high level, I don't care who we're playing against. We're not going to win. And that's what he's dealing with. And that's why they're sitting there at 5-5. They've got to improve. They've got to get better. Once conference play starts, and, the last year in this league, you think they're going to get, improve and make some strides. But that's what he's dealing with, and trying to get young players to understand just because you show up, just because you put that jersey on, doesn't guarantee you 5 extra points in a game. It doesn't. And the other team's coming in here and they're going to play inspired and they're excited for these opportunities and they're coming in here to beat you. And that's what he's dealing with.
Henson, what are those players dealing with in this situation?
It's tough because I had a tough year my first year in North Carolina. We went to NIT, so I've been on the back end of a meltdown season per se because we weren't doing what we needed to do. But if you look what Coach Cronin says, he's like, "Hey, look, we've got young guys. They're not used to playing a lot of minutes." He said we have no life or toughness on the ball, and so he's kind of just saying, "Hey, look, we just are really young and we don't have the mental strength to push through when we're fatigued." And that's why in the second half they usually falter. When he said good teams usually get better in the second half. So I think that's the biggest problem from a basketball standpoint. But I'm going to touch on him talking about NIL. And listen, UCLA was in my top 3, right? It was UCLA, Texas, and UNC. I took an official visit to UCLA. It's like asinine saying that. Like, just the campus, the facilities, the weight room, the people you meet, the connections and the things you did. It's not about recruiting. They've got to figure out what Ben Howland was doing, because that's who was there when I was there. But I think for him to bring that up and just try to that just irks me, because like I love UCLA, but it was just too far for me. My family, 5-hour flights from Florida to Cali.
Yeah, you were close to going. You were close to going after that visit. You were close.
100%. So when he says like NIL, and I can't speak on the things I did or I saw, but that's the last thing that he needs to talk about. I mean, we'll leave it at that, man. But basketball wise, he's got a young.
It's just when I was getting recruited, They don't have a problem
I'm
with
concerned.
NIL, and they need to get back to doing what Ben Howland was doing. Okay, I see what you're saying,
Yeah,
Henson. I'm
man.
picking up the Jordan down here,
Get back
man.
to get back. Hey, call Ben up. And Ben was getting guys. Ben got me from Florida to LA. I didn't know where I was going. I mean, houses in the hills. I was eating steak dinners, I think the Beverly Hilton or so. I don't know. Like, I was enamored. So, Nick, I don't know what you're doing. If you want to call me, I can kind of give him some spots, some recommendations. But from a basketball standpoint, he's got a young team.
Or you're saying get Ben Howland on staff right now. Get him out there on staff.
Get Ben in a consultant role, man. Just have him on call. Hey, what were you doing? You know what I'm saying? So,
The general
but
manager.
I think it's just
Every get a general manager these days.
exactly.
Like
but they're just
there you go.
young team. They've got to figure out how to win. They got to figure out how to play. Coach Cronin, I'm looking at the quote now. He says, the only way to solve that is be deeper because no one is going to become a sophomore, junior until next year. So I think that's their problem. But he's putting it all on next year and the next year. So, you don't want to put too much on next year because now all of a sudden everybody's looking forward, and so I don't know, man.
We got a really interesting matchup coming up on Friday night in Westwood because Maryland is traveling across the country to go pay a visit to UCLA. You got two programs that are pretty established historically from a college basketball perspective, and they're playing each other in a situation where it looks like both of these teams they're not headed to the NIT right now; they're headed to the CBI. UCLA hasn't beaten anybody that's a top 250 team on KenPom. They've lost 3 in a row right now. They've lost 4 out of 5, and they've lost 5 out of 7. In that stretch where they've lost 5 out of 7, their 2 wins are Chaminade and UC Riverside at home by 1. Meanwhile, we got Maryland, who hasn't beaten a top 100 opponent. The only win that they have that's any good is they beat Penn State at home in overtime when Penn State had one of the worst foul calls I've seen. That is the reason why that game got to overtime. So what do we got here? We got this rivalry game. It's an unbelievable matchup, Kentucky and Louisville. Then we got Maryland and UCLA coming up over here. Is this the toilet bowl all over again, guys?
Which is gonna be it's soon to be a conference game, and I think Kevin Willard said this.
You're right.
Said this to me. I think they decided to play this game. You got 2 friends matching up too, and Willard and Cronin, like 2 friends used to work together. I think he told me that some late night in Vegas out recruiting in July or at some point in time, that's when they decided to schedule this game. I said, Coach, why are you playing this game? He's like, I think we were betting on horses or doing something late night in Vegas one time. And I said, do you need a game? He said, yeah. And he said, do you need a game? And that's why we scheduled the game. So that's what we got this weekend.
The real reason they scheduled that game was because there was 2 guys with the Terrence Oglesby hairdo who wanted to get on the court with each other and face off to see who's the best bald man. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.